Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all for the next lecture of heat transfer. Whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation? Please let me know in the chat box. Great, great. So in today's lecture, we will discuss two problems on last concept that we have discussed: the local and average heat transfer coefficient for a forced convection, and the correlations for local heat transfer coefficient and local Nusselt number we have discussed for the flat plate. So on that particular point, we are going to discuss the problems in this particular lecture, and if possible, the Reynolds analogy we are going to discuss. So first problem, or you can write the problem number one as air flows, air flows over a heated plate, air flows over a heated plate, air flows over a heated plate, air flows over a heated plate at a velocity of at a velocity of air flows over a heated plate at a velocity of 50 meter per second, at a velocity of 50 meter per second, full stop. The local skin friction coefficient, the local skin friction coefficient, the local skin friction coefficient the local skin friction coefficient at a point on a plate, at a point on a plate is is 0.004, is 0.004, estimate 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 the local heat transfer coefficient, estimate the local heat transfer coefficient, local heat transfer coefficient at the point, at the point, full stop. The following property data, the following property data for air, for air are given. The following property data for air are given. Rho is equal to, rho is equal to 0.88 kg per meter cube. Rho is equal to 0.88 kg per meter cube, comma, mu is equal to, mu is equal to 2.286, 2.286 into 10 raised to minus 5, into 10 raised to minus 5. Unit is kg meter per second. Unit is kg, okay, kg per meter second, kg meter per second. Cp is equal to, Cp is equal to Cp is equal to 1001. Cp is equal to 1.001 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and thermal conductivity K is equal to, and thermal conductivity K is equal to 0.035 watt per meter Kelvin. 0.035 watt per meter Kelvin. And the equation they have provided, or the relation they have provided, use Stanton number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3 is equal to CFX divided by 2. Use Stanton number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3 is equal to C suffix fx, C suffix fx divided by 2, where this C suffix fx is nothing but local skin friction coefficient. Okay, this C suffix fx is nothing but local skin friction coefficient. Okay, so we have to determine the local heat transfer coefficient at that particular point. Okay, where we have determined the skin, the local skin friction coefficient. Okay, so at that time, at that particular point on the plate, we have to determine the local heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so for that reason we have to use this relation. Okay, Stanton number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3 is equal to CFX divided by 2. Okay, so what are the quantities are included in this particular relationship? First one is nothing but Stanton number, so that we have to determine, and then Prandtl number that we have to determine. Okay, so to determine this, we should know the formulas of Prandtl number and Stanton number. Okay, formulas of Prandtl number and Stanton number. So first of all, we try to calculate the Prandtl number. So Prandtl number formula is mu Cp divided by K. Okay, mu Cp divided by K. Mu value is provided in the properties of air. Okay, and then Cp is also provided, thermal conductivity is provided. Then you can determine the Prandtl number. Then you can determine the Prandtl number. Okay, so mu is 2.28286 into 10 raised to minus 5, and Cp is provided in a kilojoule. We have to consider this Cp value in a joule. Okay, and thermal conductivity is provided in 0.035 joule watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, so that you can calculate this and determine the Prandtl number. Then next one is nothing but Stanton number. Okay, so Stanton number, we have to consider the local Stanton number because we need to determine the local heat transfer coefficient. So Stanton number is given as heat transfer coefficient, that is H divided by rho Cp multiplied by V, where H is nothing but heat transfer coefficient, rho is nothing but density, Cp is specific heat, and capital V is nothing but a velocity. Okay, capital V is nothing but a velocity. Now here in this particular formula of a Stanton number, the heat transfer coefficient is the local heat transfer coefficient because we are determining the local Stanton number. Okay, but actually that is our final outcome. Okay, so by using this Stanton number formula, we are unable to determine the heat transfer coefficient. So we are considering this, whatever the value we are getting by using this equation, we are considering this particular value of Stanton number in our given relation, Okay, so just need to simplify this Stanton number formula. Okay, and for that reason we have to put up the given values in this particular formula for rho, Cp and V. Okay, so Hx divided by 0.88 is the density. Okay, then 1.001 is the Cp value, and we have to consider this Cp value in a joule, so that we have to multiply with 10 raised to 3. Multiply by velocity of air is provided, it is 50 meter per second, so we have to consider that. So we will get Stanton number as Hx divided by 44044. Okay, 44044. Then once you get this Stanton number value, that is Hx divided by 44,044, then just put up this particular value and the Prandtl number value in the given relationship. Okay, in the given relationship. So a given relationship is Stanton number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3 is equal to CFX divided by 2. Put up the values that we have determined for the Prandtl number and Stanton number in this equation and find out the Hx. Okay, that is nothing but our local heat transfer coefficient. That is nothing but our local heat transfer coefficient. Okay, do the calculation, everyone, and determine the Hx value. And please put up your answer in the chat box. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask. Most of the time in some complicated formulas in convection chapter, there are some complicated relations are there. So most of the time in the problem statement they have mentioned this relationship, and we have to consider that relation only, and we have to solve the problems. Okay, but we have to remember the formulas for dimensionless number. That is important, and don't forget the concepts. Okay, concepts are important also. Do the calculation, everyone, and just put up your answer in the chat box. Okay, for some while I required this PC. Okay. Everyone, please keep your calci with you while attending heat transfer lectures and try to solve the problems. Ashley, is there any problem? Anybody getting answer? 44.89. Okay, whether it is the right answer, please check. Okay, I think I made a mistake. 101. Okay, someone else? 44, 101. So which one is correct? Okay, 101. Okay, so that will be the right answer. 101.48. Okay, I'll write here. 101.48. I have done once again the calculation part. So I'm also getting 101.48 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. So that will be your final answer. Okay. Getting everyone how to solve the problem. Then second question. Write down the second problem statement. Problem number 2. The crankcase of an IC engine. The crankcase of an IC engine measuring the crankcase of an IC engine measuring 80 centimeter by 20 centimeter, 80 centimeter by 20 centimeter. So 80 centimeter is the length and 20 centimeter is the width. 80 centimeter is the length and 20 centimeter is the width. So the crankcase of an IC engine measuring 80 centimeter multiplied by 20 centimeter may be idealized as a flat plate, full stop, full stop, full stop. The engine run the engine runs at 90 kilometer per hour. The engine runs at 90 kilometer per hour, and the crankcase is cooled, and the crankcase is cooled, and the crankcase is cooled by the air flowing, and the crankcase is cooled by the air flowing past it, and the crankcase is cooled by the air flowing past it at the same speed, at the same speed, full stop. Calculate the heat loss, calculate the heat loss, calculate the heat loss from the crank surface, from the crank surface maintained at 85 degrees Celsius, maintained at 85 degrees Celsius to the ambient air, to the ambient air at 15 degrees Celsius, to the ambient air at 15 degrees Celsius. Full stop. Due to road induced vibration, due to road induced vibration, due to induced vibration, the boundary layer becomes turbulent. The boundary layer becomes turbulent from the leading edge itself. The boundary layer becomes turbulent from the leading edge itself. Okay, from the leading edge itself. Full stop. Okay, so one engine is there whose measurements are provided, and we have to consider that engine as a flat plate. So flat plate measurements after conversion of that particular IC engine in idealized form of a flat plate, that flat plate measurements are provided as a 80 centimeter multiplied by 20 centimeter. So 80 centimeter is the length, 20 centimeter is the height, width, 20 centimeter is the width. Then the engine is running at 90 kilometer per hour, and the air is passing over that particular engine. Okay, and that air is also having the same speed. So speed of the air is equal to 90 kilometer per hour, or velocity of air is equal to 90 kilometer per hour. And we have to find out the total heat loss from the tank surface, which is maintained at a 85 degrees Celsius. And the ambient air temperature is given to you as a 15 degrees Celsius. Now, one more condition they have provided, that the boundary layer which we are getting over that particular surface of IC engine or crankcase, that boundary layer is turbulent boundary layer from the leading edge itself. Okay, so that condition is provided. So we have to solve this particular problem, and for that reason we have to write first of all the boundary conditions or the given data. Okay, so given data is the length of a crankcase or a flat plate is provided as 80 centimeter. Then width is provided as a 20 centimeter, and the speed of air which is flowing over the surface of crankcase engine is provided as a 90 kilometer per hour. Okay, but we have to consider the velocity in a meter per second. So for that reason, we have to convert 90 kilometer per hour into a meter per second. So for that reason, we have to multiply by 1000. Kilometer will be converted into a meter, and we have to divide by 3600, so that the hour conversion will be there into a second. Okay, so 90 kilometer multiply by 1000 divided by 3600. Okay, divided by 3600. So we will get the velocity in a meter per second. We will get the velocity in a meter per second as 25 meter per second. Okay, 25 meter per second. Now another thing, they have provided TS, that is the surface temperature of a engine is 85 degrees Celsius, and the ambient air temperature as 15 degrees Celsius, 85 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius. But they have not provided the properties of air at that particular temperature. Okay, whatever the properties we required to do the calculation, that is mu, Cp, K, okay, kinematic viscosity, dynamic viscosity, any of the properties they have not provided in this particular problem statement. Where to get this particular properties? Okay, so for that reason, such a table is required, property table of a air at a atmospheric pressure. Okay, if you search directly on Google, you'll get this particular table. Okay, just search properties of air at atmospheric, or property table of air at 1 atm pressure. So if you search this on Google also, you'll get such kind of a table. So by using this table, we'll get different properties. So here on one side, there is a temperature. Okay, and at that particular temperature, the properties of airs are provided. So first one is density, specific heat, thermal conductivity, thermal diffusivity, dynamic viscosity, kinematic viscosity, and Prandtl number. Okay, so these properties you will get directly for the particular temperature. Then the concept is more important further, that which air temperature we have to consider, whether we have to consider the surface temperature or directly we have to consider the ambient air temperature. So here is the concept that we have to consider the the properties of air at a bulk mean temperature. At a bulk mean temperature, that is nothing but T suffix Bm. Okay, T suffix Bm is the bulk mean temperature. So what is nothing mean by bulk mean temperature? It is the average temperature of a surface and ambient air. Okay, it is the average temperature of surface and ambient air. So that is nothing but we have to consider the properties of air at a average temperature. At an average temperature in thermodynamics, it is called as a bulk mean temperature. Okay, it is bulk mean temperature. So we have to consider the TBM. Okay, bulk mean temperature, TBM, T suffix Bm, which is the average of a surface temperature and the ambient air. Okay, so 85 plus 15 divided by 2. So we will get the 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, bulk mean temperature we will get the 50 degrees Celsius. Now we have to consider the properties of air at this particular bulk mean temperature, that is nothing but 50 degrees Celsius. So from the table, whatever the properties you required, that properties we have to consider. Okay, so 50 degrees Celsius where it is in the table. So if you zoom out some, then you will get this particular properties. Okay, so this is 50 degrees Celsius. Here you will get the 50 degrees Celsius. So thermal conductivity at 50 degrees Celsius is of a air is 0.02735. Okay, then thermal diffusivity we need not require here. Then dynamic viscosity is there. So 1.963 into 10 raised to minus 5 kg per meter second. Then kinematic viscosity is there. Okay, kinematic viscosity. So we'll get the kinematic viscosity as 1.798 into 10 raised to minus 5. And lastly, the Prandtl number is also provided. Prandtl number is also provided because the Prandtl number is nothing but mu Cp divided by K. So mu value we will get from the table. Cp value is not provided in this table, but directly they have provided the Prandtl number. So one calculation we are reducing by considering this particular property table. Okay, at 50 degrees Celsius, the Prandtl number is 0.7228. Okay, at 50 degrees Celsius, Prandtl number is 0.7228. Okay, getting how to check the properties of air at from the table. Okay, how to get the properties of air from the table. So we required only three properties. Okay, first one is thermal conductivity K, which is equal to 0.02735 watt per meter Kelvin. Then kinematic viscosity, that is mu, it is provided as 1.798 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter square per second. And the last one is nothing but a Prandtl number. Okay, and it is equal to 0.7228. Okay, now here they have provided in the problem that the boundary condition is turbulent from the initial from the leading edge of that particular plate or the crankcase. Okay, but we have to check whether the boundary layer is turbulent or not. So for that reason, we have to consider the average Reynolds number. We have to consider the average Reynolds number. So average Reynolds number is equal to V multiplied by L divided by nu. Okay, for average Reynolds number, we have to consider the total length of that particular plate or the total characteristic length. Okay, total characteristic length we have to consider. So for the plate, the characteristic length of the plate is nothing but the length over which or in which direction the air is flowing over that particular plate. So that direction length of that plate will be considered as a characteristic length. So V multiplied by L divided by mu, where V is the velocity of air, L is the length of the plate, and nu is nothing but kinematic viscosity. So 25 multiplied by 0.8 whole divided by 1.798 into 10 raised to minus 5. Now, by calculating the average Reynolds number, okay, we'll get the average Reynolds number as 1.1123 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, so we have considered one boundary condition that if the Reynolds number is greater than 5 into 10 raised to 5, then that particular boundary layer is turbulent. Okay, then that boundary layer is turbulent, and in this case we are getting the Reynolds number 1.1123 into 10 raised to 6. So we can say that it is greater than 5 into 10 raised to 5. So the boundary layer is turbulent from the leading edge only. Okay, from the leading edge only. So further, we have to consider the correlation for turbulent bond relay. We have to consider the correlation for turbulent bond relay. If you check, if you flip back pages and check the formulas for the turbulent bond relay, for the flow, for the fluid flowing over the surface, flat surface, then you will get this particular formula as average Nusselt number is equal to h bar L divided by K, where h bar is nothing but average heat transfer coefficient, L is the length of that particular plate, and K is nothing but the thermal conductivity. So which is equal to 0.036 multiplied by average Reynolds number raised to 4 by 5 multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3. Okay. So Nusselt number we will get as Nusselt number, average Nusselt number is equal to h bar L, that is the average heat transfer coefficient multiplied by length divided by K, equal to 0.036 multiplied by Reynolds number value we have already calculated. So just put up that Reynolds number value in that location, and Prandtl number value we are getting from the property table directly. So put up that particular Prandtl number value and determine the value of h bar. Okay, of h bar. Okay, so once you calculate this, just we know the value of L and K, transfer that value on the another side and find out h bar. H bar is nothing but average heat transfer coefficient. Okay, average heat transfer coefficient. Okay, getting problem? So you can solve the problem, no issue. Calculate up to h bar. Calculate up to h bar. You can put up your answer in the chat box if you have calculated the h bar value. Everyone do the calculation. and just put up your answer in the chat box. After getting your answer, just put up your answer in the chat box. You have to consider the length as length of a plate. Okay, in this particular formula, length as length of plate, and thermal conductivity we have calculated by using the table. Thermal conductivity 0.02735 watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, so Sachin has got the answer as H bar is equal to 75. Okay, 75. Please check once again if any variation in the answer. Please perform 4 by 5. Okay, so most of the time we made a mistake while doing this particular calculation. So we are taking 10 raised to 6 raised to 4 by 5, but we missed this particular value 1.11. It is also raised to 4 by 5. Okay. Anybody else? So whether you are getting h bar l as h bar l divided by k is equal to 2196.60, 2196.60, just we have to multiply this value by k and divide by length. Okay, so length we have to consider in a meter. So centimeter, the length is provided in a centimeter. We have to convert that length into meter, and then we have to divide by that particular meter length. Okay, 0.75. It is very small, 0.75. Gayatri, please check your answer once again. 0.75. You have missed something from the data, okay, calculation data. Whether you are getting 2196 or anybody, this calculation 0.036 into 1.1123 into 10 raised to 6 raised to 4 by 5 multiplied by 0.7228 raised to 1 divided by 3. Okay, if you are getting 2196.60, then you have made a mistake in taking the value of L. Okay, value of L. So L value is provided as 80 centimeter. We have to consider that value in a meter. Okay, if you are getting this 2196, then we have to consider the value of L in meter. Okay, not in centimeter. That is 0.8. We have to consider 0.8. Okay, my answer is 77.54. Whether it is right or wrong, please check you. You can check My answer is 77.54. Okay, so if you get the same answer, h bar is equal to 77.54 watt per meter square degree Celsius. Okay, or if not get the same answer, just put up your answer also and my answer side by side. Okay, so that you can cross check whether you have made a mistake or I have made a mistake while doing the calculation. Okay, then heat loss, we have to determine the heat loss. Okay, further thing, we have to determine the heat loss from the surface. So the heat is transforming from the surface to the surrounding, so that heat transfer will be a convection heat transfer. Okay, mode of heat transfer is convection heat transfer. So in that case, we have to use the Newton's law of cooling to determine the heat loss or heat transfer rate. Okay, so that we have used here the heat transfer rate, that is nothing but Q is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by Ts minus Ta. So H value we have determined, heat transfer coefficient value we have determined. Then A area we have to put up 80 into 20, that is nothing but 0.8 multiplied by 0.2 width multiplied by length. Okay, that will be the surface area available for the heat transfer, 0.8 multiplied by 0.2, and Ts minus Ta is nothing but the temperature difference between the surface and surroundings. Ts minus Ta, just put up that particular values and you will get the answer for Q. So Q is equal to 868.56 watt. Please check whether you are getting the same answer or different one. Okay, so getting everyone? Okay, 75.88 is correct. Okay, 75. Okay, if I change this 75, so then what will be the Q? What will be the Q? Q value? Please let me know the Q also. 'H' already taken. Q area we have to calculate as 0.8 multiplied by 0.2. Ts is 85, Ta is 15. So 85 minus 15, that will be the 70. 70 multiplied by 0.8 multiplied by 0.2 multiplied by 75.54. Okay. Please put up your answer about the Q. I have to write here. 849. Okay. 849.85 watt. Okay, 849.85 watt. Okay, so that will be your final answer, and this is asked in your problem statement. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the Reynolds analogy between momentum and heat transfer. Okay, momentum and heat transfer. So here we are going to consider the Reynolds analogy. So Reynolds analogy is about the fluid friction and the Newton's law of viscosity. So what is the output of this particular Reynolds analogy? So we can use this Reynolds analogy to infer the data of shear stress. Okay, by measuring the shear stress, we can calculate the heat transfer. Okay, we can calculate the heat transfer. Okay, Reynolds analogy is useful. Why? Because by measuring the or by considering the data of the shear stress, we can calculate heat transfer rate. Okay, we can calculate the heat transfer rate. So how it is possible, that we are going to discuss in this particular Reynolds analogy. Okay, how it is possible by considering the data of shear stress, how it is possible to calculate the heat transfer rate, that we are going to discuss in this particular derivation part. Okay, so Reynolds analogy is the interrelationship between the fluid friction and Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, Newton's law of viscosity. So according to the Newton's law of viscosity, tau is given as, that is nothing but shear stress is given as mu multiplied by dv divided by dy. Okay, so that is nothing but shear stress is directly proportional to change in velocity with respect to vertical distance, change in velocity with respect to vertical distance, change in vertical distance. And if you normalize this particular statement, you will get the shear stress tau as mu multiplied by dv divided by dy, where mu is nothing but dynamic viscosity multiplied by dv is nothing but change in velocity, and dy is nothing but change in distance in a vertical direction, change in distance in a vertical direction. Okay, so in a similar fashion, if you want to determine the heat transfer along y direction means what? If you consider any point on a plate, and on that point vertically heat transfer you have to consider. Okay, vertically heat transfer you have to consider. So that heat transfer most of the time is considered as a conduction heat transfer. Okay, in a fluid, vertical heat transfer will be considered as a conduction heat transfer, because that heat transfer is happen due to that heat transfer is happen due to the physical contact of two molecules. Okay, due to physical contact of two molecules, or a physical contact of different layers of a fluid. Okay, and we have to consider that heat transfer as a conduction heat transfer. So in that case, the heat transfer will be given as a Q is equal to minus K multiplied by A multiplied by dt divided by dy. If you consider, this is the equation number 2. Now consider Prandtl number. Okay, now consider the Prandtl number. So what Prandtl number signifies? Okay, Prandtl number signifies whether the momentum diffuses earlier, or the heat diffuses earlier. Okay, we know that Prandtl number is proportional to delta divided by delta t. Okay, Prandtl number is proportional to delta divided by delta t. If both the lines or both the boundaries are collapsed on each other, okay, if both the boundaries, that is nothing but thermal boundary layer and the velocity boundary layer, collapse on each other, at that time we will get the Prandtl number is equal to 1. Now here we are considering the same concept. Prandtl number is equal to 1. Okay, Prandtl number we are considering as 1. So that is nothing but velocity boundary layer and thermal boundary layer we are getting on a same line. Okay, we are getting on a same line. So Prandtl number is equal to 1, and from Prandtl number formula is nothing but mu Cp divided by K. So here we are considering mu Cp divided by K as a Prandtl number, which is equal to 1. By considering Prandtl number 1, we'll get K is equal to mu Cp. We'll get K is equal to mu Cp. That is nothing but thermal conductivity is equal to mu Cp. Just put up this particular K value of K is equal to mu Cp in equation number 2. That is nothing but thermal heat transfer rate equation. So we'll get Q is equal to minus mu Cp multiplied by A multiplied by dt divided by dy. Dt divided by dy. Once you get minus mu Cp multiplied by A multiplied by dt divided by dy. Now we have the mu equation. That is from first equation, tau is equal to mu multiplied by dv divided by dy. So from that equation, we can get the mu equation as tau multiplied by dy divided by dv. Okay, tau multiplied by dy divided by dv. So we have to put up this mu equation in this heat transfer equation as q is equal to minus tau multiplied by dy divided by dv multiplied by cp multiplied by a multiplied by dt divided by dy. Now dy will be cancelled. Okay, numerator dy and denominator dy will be cancelled, and we'll get q as q is equal to minus tau multiplied by cp multiplied by a multiplied by dt divided by dv. Okay, dt divided by dv. Okay, so further we have to consider the boundary conditions. Okay, at the surface of a plate. Okay, at the surface of a plate, no slip boundary condition is there, so that the velocity of the layer at the surface of plate is zero, because that layers of a fluid are adheres to the surface of a plate. So because of that, the fluid temperature or the layer temperature which is adhered to the surface of plate is equal to the surface temperature, so boundary condition at the surface of a plate, okay, at the surface of a plate is nothing but velocity becomes zero, and temperature of that particular fluid layer which is adhered to the surface is equal to the surface temperature, so that we have to consider temperature of a fluid, that is T is equal to Ts at the surface of a plate. Okay, at the surface of a plate, and at the end of the boundary layer, okay, at the end of the boundary layer, or where we are getting the 100% of initial velocity, okay, and where we are getting also at the same point we are getting the temperature of a initial fluid layer, or we can say that whatever the initial temperature of that fluid, that temperature we will get at the same point only, okay, at the boundary, because we are considering Prandtl number is equal to 1. Okay, Prandtl number is equal to 1 means what? Velocity boundary layer is collapsed with the temperature boundary layer or a thermal boundary layer. So at the same point only we are getting the maximum temperature, or we can say that the temperature of fluid is equal to the initial temperature, and the velocity of fluid is equal to initial velocity, so we can say that at the outer edge of the boundary layer, velocity is equal to capital V. Okay, that is nothing but the change in velocity is equal to initial velocity, and temperature of that particular fluid is equal to initial temperature, or the initial temperature of that particular fluid. Okay, that particular fluid before that fluid is transferred over the heated surface. Okay, further we have to consider this equation, and we have to separate out their variables. Okay, separate out their variables, so that integration part will be simpler one. Okay, integration part will be the simpler one. So dv we have transfer on this side, okay, and dt we have kept on right hand side only, so that we will get the equation. And if you apply the apply the integration, then we have to apply the boundary condition. Okay, boundary condition that we have considered. So velocity is initial limit is 0 and final limit is v, and we have to integrate the dv is equal to tau cp and area. These are the constant we have taken out of the integration sign, and the temperature of layers or fluid is changing from Ts to T naught. Okay, temperature of a fluid layers is changing from the surface of a plate to the end of the boundary from Ts to T naught. Okay, so boundary conditions for dt are Ts, initial boundary condition is Ts, and final boundary condition is T naught. So integration of dv is v, integration of dt is t, and apply the limits. Okay, 0 to v and Ts to Ta. Okay, so first apply the upper limit and then apply the lower limit. So 0 v minus 0, that will be v only, will get q multiplied by v, and which is equal to tau minus tau multiplied by cp multiplied by a. That are the constants only that we have kept as it is. Now in this t we have to apply the upper limit first. So ta we have applied ta minus ts. Okay, upper limit minus lower limit, so ta minus ts. So we will get equation
Q multiplied by V is equal to tau multiplied by Cp multiplied by A inside the bracket Ta minus Ts. Okay. Further, further, if you take this negative sign inside the bracket, okay, minus tau is there. So minus sign if you take inside the bracket, so plus Ta become minus Ta and minus Ts become plus Ts. So we will get inside bracket Ts minus Ta. We'll get inside bracket Ts minus Ta. So Q multiplied by V is equal to tau multiplied by Cp multiplied by area multiplied by Ts minus Ta. Okay. So further, if you transfer this Ts minus Ta and A on one side, so we'll get Q divided by A multiplied by Ts minus Ta. And on another side, tau multiplied by Cp divided by V. Tau multiplied by Cp divided by V. Now here, this equation, we have familiar with this equation. This is nothing but heat transfer coefficient. According to the Newton's law of cooling, Q is given as Q is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by Ts minus Ta. So that if you want to determine H is equal to Q divided by A multiplied by Ts minus Ta. Okay. So Q divided by A multiplied by Ts minus Ta is nothing but local heat transfer coefficient, because we are considering the values at a particular point only. Okay. At a particular point only, so that this heat transfer will be the local heat transfer, and it is equal to tau multiplied by Cp multiplied by Cp divided by V. Now, according to the local heat drag force, according to the drag force, shear stress is given as, according to the drag force, shear stress is given as Cfx multiplied by 1/2 multiplied by rho multiplied by V square. Okay, Cfx multiplied by 1/2 multiplied by rho multiplied by V square, where C suffix fx is nothing but a local coefficient of a drag or local skin friction factor. Okay, or a local skin friction coefficient or local skin friction factor. It is also called as the local skin friction factor. Okay, so according to the shear stress formula, this is also one kind of a shear stress formula. You have to remember this shear stress formula. Tau is equal to Cfx multiplied by 1/2 multiplied by rho multiplied by V square, where Cfx is nothing but local coefficient of a drag or local skin friction factor. So we have to put up this particular formula in this equation. Okay, Hx equation, local heat transfer coefficient equation. So therefore Hx will be equal to Cfx multiplied by 1/2 multiplied by rho multiplied by V square multiplied by Cp divided by V. Okay, just we have put up the tau formula in this equation. Therefore, we have to segregate the terms. We have taken on this side rho V Cp. Okay, from this side rho V and Cp we have taken. V square is there, so square of V and at the denominator V is there, so that V will be cancelled. So that rho V Cp remain on this side. We have taken this rho V Cp on this side. So we'll get the term Hx divided by rho V Cp, which is equal to Cfx divided by 2. Okay, and we know that Hx divided by rho V Cp, that is nothing but Stanton number, local Stanton number, and that equation we will get local Stanton number, which is equal to Cfx divided by 2. And this local Stanton number is also equal to the local Nusselt number divided by local Reynolds number multiplied by Prandtl number. So from this equation, we can interface, or we can convert the data of shear stress into a heat transfer. Okay, shear stress data we can infer, we can infer the shear stress data into the heat transfer data. Okay, so this is called as a Reynolds analogy. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? So
Write down from this slide, everyone.
मोबाईल करा नाही.
Yes, I'm muted. I'm getting some throat problem, so I've muted myself. You write down. I'm scrolling down. You write down. If you have any question, any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Have you written previous slides? Is there any question, any doubt in this derivation, previous two problems? Whether you understood everything, or should I repeat some of the part if you not understood? Please let me know. If you have written all the points, okay, from this particular derivation, then you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave. Maybe tomorrow we will conduct 2 hours and we'll finish this chapter. Okay, chapter number 4. Tomorrow we will conduct 2 hour lecture. Okay, and we'll finish this chapter. You can put up, if you are finished with the write up part, then you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave.